Now at 6 and streaming on CrossroadsToday.com, Victoria police arrest a man after a string of crimes. The Refugio County Sheriff retires after decades of service. And a deadly tornado hits Alvin, claiming a life and destroying homes.
And a very foggy condition this morning gave way to beautiful conditions today with beautiful sunny skies, very warm temperatures. Different for tomorrow. Here comes the cooler temperatures. We'll give you the details coming up in the full forecast.
And the Victoria West men's basketball team is ready to begin district play this Friday. I'll tell you more here in sports.
You're watching 25 News now at 6. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Don Brubaker. Shauna Curry is off tonight. Now for an update on an arrest last night after the suspect fired shots at Victoria Police. 25 News Now reporter Trenton Whiting joins us with more details. Trenton?
Thank you, Don. Last night, Victoria Police arrested a man accused of robbing 2 businesses and then firing shots at police. Giovanni Gomez is charged with 7 different counts, 2 counts of aggravated robbery, evading arrest in a vehicle, aggravated assault on a peace officer, and possession of a stolen firearm. He's now in the Victoria County Jail in lieu of a $162,000 bond. Police responded to a robbery at the Cracker Barrel convenience store at 6009 North Main Street. A different robbery alarm went off at the Whataburger on East Rio Grande during their investigation. Officers saw Gomez leaving and pursued him in his vehicle. Gomez then fired shots at police during the pursuit, which the Victoria Police did not return fire. He then wrecked his vehicle on the corner of Navarro and Red River Streets and took off on foot before police arrested him on North Wheeler Street. Police report that there were no injuries resulting from the shots fired during their pursuit. Don, back to you.
Trenton, thank you. Sheriff Pinky Gonzalez will retire Tuesday after serving Refugio County as a law enforcement officer since 1992 and as sheriff for the last 8 years. The 69-year-old Gonzalez did not seek re-election for a 3rd term. While he was a game warden with the Texas Parks and Wildlife Department, in August 2005, Gonzalez helped rescue over 5,000 stranded victims of Hurricane Katrina in New Orleans. Gonzalez won his first term as Refugio County Sheriff in 2016. Gonzalez worked with State Senator Lois Kolkhorst on a 2019 bill that helped prepare the state for future hurricanes and natural disasters. In April 2021, Gonzalez was appointed by Governor Greg Abbott to the Commission on Jail Standards. Matagorda County ended its burn ban Monday morning. It's the 5th county in the Crossroads to end its burn ban in the last week. Victoria, Lavaca, Jackson, and Wharton counties ended their burn bans shortly after Christmas. And now let's take a first look at your forecast. In for First Warn Storm Team Chief Meteorologist Mac Bettis, meteorologist Trey Mining has your forecast. And Trey, you're also going to report on a record set today in Victoria. Is that right?
A big record at that, I tell you what. It was really amazing. We'll take a look at that here shortly. On the outside, it's 74 degrees currently, beginning to cool down a little bit more with southerly winds near 10 miles per hour. And temperatures in the area, well, I'll say Texas in the 60s and 70s, they're 80 degrees still in Laredo to Del Rio and down to the Rio Grande Valley. Cooler air to the north making its way into the Crossroads coming up in the overnight tonight, giving us more seasonal type of temperatures for our region here. Any rainfall, we'll try to find some coming up later on in the full forecast. Don?
All right, thank you, Trey. The DeWitt County Sheriff's Office reports a scam circulating that area. Residents are receiving phone calls and voicemails from callers posing as deputies and department employees. The calls ask for personal information, claiming the resident in question has a warrant and requesting funds. The Sheriff's Office in DeWitt County reminds residents that they will never call to inform residents of warrant status, and they'll never request personal details or request funds over the phone. Residents can call 361-275-5734 with any questions or concerns. Republicans in Congress plan to move quickly in their effort to overhaul the nation's voting procedures, seeing an opportunity with control of the White House and both chambers of Congress. To read this full article, visit our website, crossroadstoday.com. A community is in grief tonight as a family mourns the loss of their loved one, tragically killed when a powerful tornado swept through their neighborhood. Here's more on the devastating aftermath and how the family is remembering their cherished one.
My brother's house was there, and then it ended up in the back here.
Walking through what's left of her family's property in Alvin, Stephanie Brown relives the terrifying moments an EF2 tornado tore through their yard Saturday.
We landed like this, we landed back up.
The red house Stephanie lived in, knocking into the main house, which the winds uprooted and tossed more than 100 feet away.
It picked it up whole, threw it over there, dropped, and exploded.
Stephanie says her wife of 6 years, Jamie Brown, was in that home making lunch and was killed by the tornado. Stephanie discovering Jamie's body amid the wreckage.
I tried to do CPR, but she was already gone. I think she got pummeled by stuff in the house.
Stephanie describing Jamie as loving and giving. It's a loss she's still processing.
I can't put it together. It's still not. I still thinking I'm gonna wake up in the middle of the night and she's there. Or she's gonna come walking through the door or whatever, but it's not gonna happen.
Stephanie's brother Billy, his wife Erica, and their 2 kids lived in the main house, which is now nothing more than its base. The destruction unexpected.
Made it through 3 hurricanes, and then a tornado came and took everything. And I'm just really thankful.
It's heartbreaking to lose a loved one and to see so much devastation.
And our house is now behind the neighbor's house, completely shredded to nothing.
The kindness of neighbors is helping the whole family stay at a hotel until January 1st. But after that, the future is unclear.
We don't even know what we're gonna do. We have insurance, but the last 2 storms we've had, Hurricane Harvey and all that, our insurance refused to help us.
As they pick up the pieces, Daphne is holding tight to the memory of her wife, Jamie.
She could have shot off her back if she didn't have it. If that was her last one, she'd give it to you.
DPS troopers continue to conduct their annual Christmas and New Year's holiday traffic enforcement campaign. The campaign runs through January 1st. Troopers will be out on the roads looking for people who are speeding, not wearing their seatbelts, driving while intoxicated, or committing other traffic violations. That includes obeying the move over or slow down law. If you see flashing lights, move over a lane or slow down to 20 miles an hour below the posted speed limit. Drivers can be fined up to $1,250 for a first offense. Patriot Park will once again be open to pop your New Year's Eve fireworks. The park will be open from 5 p.m. until midnight. Victoria County volunteer firefighters will be on standby. Trash bags will be provided, and they say please make sure your fireworks have cooled before you put them in the trash. On Monday, natural gas prices surged to their highest level in nearly 2 years, up 24% at one point. It comes as energy markets brace for frigid weather that could simultaneously boost demand and curb supply. Extreme cold would cause Americans to turn up their thermostats, increasing demand for natural gas, which is the most popular home heating method. One expert also noted there are concerns the extreme cold could freeze natural gas wells, hurting supply. This brings us to our viewer poll tonight. Natural gas prices are spiking, so should there be more regulations to protect consumers? Yes or no? 71% of our voters say yes, there should be more regulations to protect consumers. We thank you for voting, and we want to hear from you. Visit crossroadstoday.com/vote to take part, and we'll have the latest results tonight after Monday Night Football. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today. Hit the like button and click the notification bell. Then you can see Crossroads Today on YouTube. And stay with us, coming up on 25 Views now at 6. Remembering a presidential legacy. Tributes pour in for Jimmy Carter. Also ahead, credit cards under pressure this season, why your holiday spending could come at a high cost. of the 39th President of the United States, Jimmy Carter. In a proclamation issued overnight, President Biden said next Thursday, January 9th, as a national day of mourning with a state funeral to be held at the National Cathedral in Washington, D.C. Meanwhile, around the world and the country, especially in Georgia, there's been an outpouring of sympathy.
From the New York Stock Exchange to the United Nations,
the members of the Security Council convey their deepest sympathy to President Carter's family and to the government and people of the United States.
Tributes are pouring in to honor the life and legacy of former President Jimmy Carter.
You know, Jimmy Carter stands as a model of what it means to live a life of meaning and purpose, life of principle, faith, and humility.
Carter, who died Sunday at 100 years old, was the longest living president in American history. Just 56 when he left the White House in 1981 after serving one term, Carter and his wife Rosalind devoted themselves to humanitarian pursuits for the next 40 years, helping to build homes, working to fight disease, and monitoring foreign elections.
Looking back on it, I wouldn't change it. The life we've had since then, 35 or more years, at the Carter Center has opened up a new opportunity for us to serve in 80 countries in the world.
The former president was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize in 2002.
And one of the things that they were known for in the White House was their focus on human rights. And so he really wanted to continue that, as well as work on conflict resolution. So they created the Carter Center, which has a focus. We put human rights at the center of everything that we're doing.
At the Carter Center in Atlanta, a steady stream of visitors paying their respects.
I really appreciate him as an ex-president, you know, building houses and all the things he's done.
And President Biden ordering all American flags to be flown at half staff for a month in honor of the late president. Morgan Norwood, ABC News, Atlanta.
The U.S. credit card debt is set to hit record levels in the coming months. The National Retail Federation reports between November 1st and December 31st, spending is on track to reach a record between $979.5 billion and $989 billion. Other reports found that many shoppers depended on credit cards to manage their holiday purchases. Heading into the peak holiday shopping season, credit card balances were already 8.1% higher compared to last year. The holiday spending report by NerdWallet shows 28% of credit card users had not paid off the gifts they bought last year. Credit cards continue to be one of the most expensive ways to borrow money. The average credit card rate is currently more than 20%. The nation's airports and roadways will be crowded to close out 2024, but the weather in some parts of the country could slow things down even more. And the famous New Year's celebration in New York's Times Square could have soggy skies.
2024 may be nearing its close, but at the nation's airports, the busy holiday travel period isn't over yet.
We just got all the bags checked, so hopefully security doesn't take too long.
The Transportation Security Administration expected Monday to be one of the busiest days of the holiday stretch, and it came after a weekend of severe weather in the southeastern U.S., including deadly storms in Texas, Mississippi, and North Carolina. Hundreds of flights within, into, or out of the U.S. were canceled on Sunday, and more than 11,000 flights were delayed. This traveler headed west from Chicago's O'Hare International Airport, taking a Monday morning delay in stride.
Okay, if it's only an hour. If it ends up being 5 or 6 hours, then, you know, you lose the day in Arizona. But you know what? It's vacation, so no complaints.
Meanwhile, in New York, preparations are underway for an expected 1 million New Year's Eve revelers in Times Square, including a test drop of the famous confetti on Sunday.
We're going to test it here today so that we're ready to start 2025 strong.
And a warning from city officials Monday to expect rainy skies.
The lucky ones that are going to be up front and able to see the ball drop, dress warmly. We're expecting rain, so we're telling you to be prepared for the weather.
While the East will contend with rain to end 2024, parts of the Midwest could also see a messy New Year's Eve as some snow mixes with rain at times. I'm Karen Kafa reporting.
It was the biggest tech threat the world had ever experienced until it wasn't. New Year's Day 2025 will mark the 25th anniversary of Y2K. Remember that? Yeah, Y2K was the term used for a widespread computer bug that was expected to crash computers when the year 1999 turned into 2000. In November 1999, then President Bill Clinton said everything would be fine. Despite that, tech companies spent billions of dollars on updates. Average Americans were also worried, millions stocked up on food, toilet paper, and other goods. Well, needless to say, everything was fine once the clock struck midnight for the first day of 2000. Do you remember Y2K, Trey?
I do, exactly, yes. It makes me feel old. That was a long time ago. But we made it through, and we'll make it through again. And yes, it was a record-breaking day here in Victoria today. 87 degrees was the official high in Victoria. Beats the old record of 82 back in 1973. Nowhere near the record low on this date, 15 degrees back in 1983. Rain chance in the forecast. Well, cooler temperatures are. We'll give you the details coming up after the break. And good evening, Trey Mining here. Let's take a look at the visibilities right now. No problems so far, about 9 to 10 mile visibilities, but that'll be changing as we head toward the overnight, early tomorrow morning time frame, about 6, 7 a.m. The fog will once again appear. I tell you what, it was very thick this morning. It was hard to see too far down the road. I drove in it, it was just, oh, it was awful. But it'll be more of that again for your day tomorrow in the early morning hours by 6 a.m. according to the fog model right here. Should be zero visibilities in Victoria and up to Ganado and the area, and Louise right around in there, and also near the coast of Port Lavaca. It'll be lasting to about 9 o'clock. It'll begin to fade on out as the atmosphere heats as the sun heats the atmosphere around here and begins to fade that fog bank on out. The good visibilities by the rest of the day for your day tomorrow. With changing temperatures, there's a front moving through during the morning hours coming in from the north. We were well into the 80s today, as you know, but by the time we get to your day on Tuesday, will be quite a bit different, as we'll see here on the model here. Temperatures only in the 60s to near 70 degrees for the daytime high, lasting to about 11 o'clock in the evening for your day tomorrow. So noticeably different, a bit cooler. May want to bring a little bit of a light jacket with you if you're out and about, because there'll be a breeze blowing, making it feel cooler than it actually is on the outside. High pressure over our region, giving us the good weather, is moving on to the east. Along the next system here, this front here, to enter our region coming up for your early morning hours tomorrow. Notice it's coming from the west, not from the north, so it's not Arctic air, not anything that's really very cold. It's more of a mild, cool air from the Pacific headed toward the Texas area, so we will not see any freezing temperatures, but noticeable cool down behind it and reinforcing the good weather after that. So what can we expect? Fog early tomorrow morning, once again throughout the entire region, so be careful driving from about 5 a.m. to about 8 or 9 a.m. at the latest. Low headlight beams, please reduce your speed. Be careful out there. We want you to arrive safely. Sunny skies throughout the rest of the day tomorrow. High temperatures in Aquara only near 70 degrees with northerly winds. Port Lavaca as well. Fog early in the morning and being able to lift by about 9 o'clock. Sunny skies by the majority of the day. Northerly winds behind the front, 10 to 15 miles per hour, maybe 20 mile per hour in gust. So a little bit of a chill to the air, adding that wind factor in. Sunny skies for your day on tomorrow in Victoria. Fog early in the morning hours, of course. Highs near 70, northerly winds with sunny to partly cloudy skies throughout the morning hours especially. Sunshine in the afternoon, and it's New Year's holiday coming up. Mostly sunny skies for your day tomorrow, as you know. Highs near 70, and partly cloudy skies for your New Year's Day, looking pretty good. Highs in the 60s, and maybe getting a little bit warmer by the time we get to Sunday or so. And it looks like another front could be coming through on your Monday time frame, which will be even colder than that. Could be seeing freezing temperatures. As we get closer in time to that, we'll get a better handle on how that's going to behave. And overnight lows in the meantime will be 40s and 50s throughout the entire forecast period. No rain as of yet, so keeping it on the dry side, but noticeably cooler, feeling more like it should coming up by your day tomorrow. Take a look at this right here. This is the QR code. As you see, they get your smartphone, scan the code. You see right there, they'll take you to a web page. You can download our app. News, weather, and sports at your fingertips. Very easy, convenient, and it's free of charge, of course, to be connected with us here in the Crossroads and let you know what's going on in and around the region. Don?
All right, Trey, thank you. And we welcome Sports Director Max Williams back from the frozen tundra of Ohio.
Yeah, that's right, Don. Again, I had a good little vacation. It was a little cold, but not too bad actually there for weather-wise. But back here to get into some Texas sports here. And we had one team in the Houston Rockets had a tough battle versus the Miami Heat there last night. Did they get the win? I'll tell you that coming up in sports. All right, Crossroads, it's good to be back here in Texas after a full week off there back in Ohio. It's good to be back here after a week off, just a little vacation time, need a little relaxation. But because I ended up talking about high school football with Ganado winning their first state title last night left. But now we're going to transition over to Starter Sports Lock here with some basketball. Yes, again, basketball season starting up district play, and first with Victoria East women's basketball. They're going to begin district play this Friday afternoon at home versus the Fort Bend Marshall Buffaloes. This game will be at 3:30 p.m. Again, they're on Friday afternoon. So again, some of our area teams still are on winter break right now, getting ready to be back in school there next week. But for East, they have to keep the eye on district. Again, they got a star point guard there, number 3, Avery Valentine, and also number 23, Kamari Clark, and number 12, Jazel Williams have been huge there for Victoria East as well. Again, 10-9 right now overall, 2-1 in district. So we'll see how they do this Friday afternoon. What over to Victoria West boys basketball here. They begin district play at Terry High School this Friday at 7 p.m. The West Warriors, they've been back and forth here at non-conference. They're right now 7-9 overall so far, and their senior leader, Bo Woods, has been huge again, and also some football stars you kind of will remember from West there, running back Genesis Jeffries, and also defensive end that was there for West, and Trevor Robinson are going to be huge here as well there for Victoria West, because last season they went 0-8 in district play, and then 10-16 overall. So again, West looking to improve here this upcoming season. Hopefully there for West head coach Cody McDonald begin strong there in district play. Now speaking of hoops, Victoria West women's basketball had a non-district game today versus the Gonzales Apaches earlier this afternoon. The West Warriors team got the big win. They won 47-35. Again, leading scorer there for West was Zai Morgan with 15 points. Then Nisa Scott and Kirsten Kahn had 11 points to help West get the win. And the Warriors, again, they begin district play, though, again, this Friday at home versus Terry High School. That will be at 12:30. 30. But now, how about over to some football? Again, we mentioned Shiner earlier, right? Again, had a chance to reach the state championship versus the Munster Hornets. Again, just lost a tough one there about 2 weeks ago. Well, one of their own there in defensive back Dalton Brooks had made some impact plays there in the Las Vegas Bowl versus USC there on Saturday. Brooks had a big third quarter interception and also led the team there as well and with some tackles. At the end of the season, though, for Brooks, he had 38 individual tackles, 5.5 tackles for loss, 1 interception, and 1 sack to end the day for Dalton Brooks. Now, I mentioned some high school basketball and some football, but now we're going to move over to the NBA, where the Houston Rockets, they faced the Miami Heat there last night. And the Rockets, they lost a tough one there, 104-100 there versus the Miami Heat there at home. The Heat scored 23 points there in the fourth quarter to help propel, again, to get the victory there last night. For the Rockets, their leading scorer was Dylan Brooks, who had 22 points. Alfred Sengun had 19 points to help the Rockets. And again, the Rockets, they're going to have to regroup because their next game is going to be New Year's Day versus the Dallas Mavericks there. The tip-off for that will be at 7 p.m. And then finally tonight, the Spurs, they played the Minnesota Timberwolves there last night in Minnesota. And the Spurs lost a close battle there, 112-110. The Spurs, they got a big contribution there from star player there, Victor Wembanyama. Had 34 points there last night. And star point guard Chris Paul had 14 assists there for the Spurs. But again, it would not be enough for the Spurs to get the win. They're going to be back in action tomorrow night there versus the LA Clippers there at home at 6 p.m. That's going to do it here in sports. Don, back to you.
Thank you, Max, and we're back in a moment. New York's Times Square is getting ready for this week's New Year's Eve celebrations. Finally tonight, New York City is preparing for one of the annual New Year's Eve ball drop, and I'm telling you, one of the biggest every year for any city in the world. Workers tested the ball drop today. Thousands of people will pack into Times Square to watch the ball drop at midnight Tuesday. New York's mayor says the NYPD is ready for the challenges the city faces as it welcomes hundreds of thousands of people to ring in the new year. The New Year's Eve weather forecast, Trey, well, it calls for showers on Tuesday night, but anyone ringing in the new year in Times Square won't be allowed to bring along an umbrella for security reasons. Welcome to our world post 9/11. I lost an umbrella checking in at Super Bowl 38 in 2004 in Houston. Nope, you know, they just won't allow the umbrellas in certain places.
It's just different now, Don.
That's just how it is.
Yeah.
It is. But I just can't believe it was 87, a record high today here.
Can you believe that?
Wow.
I tell you what, tomorrow, that's going to be all a memory because we have cool air coming in. The high is only near 70 degrees.
Back and forth we go. Look at that, 64 for the high on New Year's Day, 70 tomorrow.
Hey, keep in mind, tomorrow morning, like we had this morning, dense fog in the area, so be careful driving, please.
When do you think the cold will hit us? What is your estimate?
I'm thinking like about 11 o'clock in the morning, maybe 10, 11 o'clock in the morning, the front will be moving on through. So we'll reach our high probably just before the front arrives, and that'll be about 70 degrees and be falling out as we go throughout the rest of the day.
So we'll still have to deal with the fog because it comes in.
Correct.
after the
Yeah,
fog.
because it's going to blow that fog away, but it won't be here soon enough to stop the fog from forming.
Very good.
All right.
Trey, thank you. And thanks for joining us. We'll see you tonight for 25 News Now after Monday Night Football.